Hey YouTube, it's Morgan, aka the Mountaineer. Oh, Saturday morning, a little bit after 8. My car said 58 before I turned it off. Though I know by the end of the hike today, it'll be a whole lot hotter than that. Sun's up, I can see it through the trees a little bit there, but it's a bright, clear day so far. And I just did the road section from the parking lot. Today I'm going to do the Pigeon Roost Trail and Rocky Ridge Trail. Went ahead and started my pipe because of the road section in this first section. A little bit steep right here, but it flattens out. I think this will be the third time I've done this trail. And see the sun back there. But first time was real early on in the hike and pipe series. And the second time, if there wasn't another time in between it, I can't remember the date, but it was in the winter. And it was that real windy time. And I set up and had that blooper at the end where I fell back. My chair went back, and luckily there was a tree right behind me, or I'd have rolled all the way down the side of the mountain, down the rocky ridge that the trail's named after. And that was also the time it was too windy. I started my little portable campfire. It only lasted a few minutes, but I didn't feel safe starting making coffee because it was so windy, and I had my alcohol stove, and I thought, this sucker tips over, alcohol will go everywhere, and it would just be a fire hazard. But anyhow, of course I said this first bit was easy, but it's steep and I'm huffing and puffing. It does flatten out up here for a bit, but I'm gonna keep hiking, keep smoking my pipe. I don't think I said, but it's a Boswell, has the 12 gauge shell on the end, and ooh, and I have, for this initial pipe, some H&H White Knight. So I'll be back. Here's where Pigeon Roost Trail goes out that way. I'm not sure how far, but I want to take Rocky Ridge Trail. So these blue square blazes will be my markers. Well guys, as you saw, I just opened a tin of red line. Hadn't smoked it before, and of course I put it down in my backpack, forgetting to keep it out to read the tin description. But I think it's basically a kind of an oriental forward blend, if I recall. I could be wrong, but so far so good. Of course, it's not had much time to dry out. But you can see here I have a newish, I've had it for a month or two, coffee making contraption. And it has this bit, sorry, I'm gonna pull this out and show you. It has this piece and then an insulated carafe. Just dampen that O-ring a little bit. And I think tends to help it. But this is a little like coffee basket, and obviously this didn't have much time to dry out, so I'll probably have a lot of relights. But take your water, and there are a couple lines in here. I doubt you can see it, but basically I fill it up to the highest line. And then drop the basket in very carefully. It takes a little bit to float down to the bottom. And air from between the grinds and stuff is coming out. So wait for it to get to the bottom, wait a little bit, and then I'll tap it, knock it with my knuckles, tap it on the ground a little bit, get every bit of that air out that I can. Have the lid, and it just slips in this part, and then I just slowly screw this thing up, and there's a little lip at the bottom of this that holds the basket, so it's pulling it up. The water's going down through it, down through the coffee. I just ensure all the water's through. And I learned the second time I use this that you have to be supremely careful. We were heading up to Morgantown and for a nephew's birthday, which we're doing later today. A little belated birthday, but this portion didn't screw all the way up, and when that's down in there, there's no wiggle room, and I couldn't get it out. But once you get it screwed all the way up, you can wiggle it out. Though I was trying to force it, the water was only about halfway through. I think I had twisted it a little too quick and didn't wait at the end for the water to go. And I had the lid off, and I ended up with water 2 minutes off the boil in my face. So that was unpleasant. But now I take this off, and I have a really good cup of coffee, and this lid just fits in here, but it actually screws in on there. So I'm gonna set this down on my pot lid. So, you can take it around if I wanted to make coffee somewhere, down the trail, and then leave a little one and go set up somewhere else for some reason. I can do that. But it's a handy little contraption. It comes with this little funnel type thing. It sets down over the basket. When the top is off the basket, you put two It says 2 scoops, but I find that kind of overfills it, so a little less than 2 scoops. And then it comes with this little brush, I guess, to help clean the filter or something, but it is a little bit hard to clean, a little bit of a pain. But it does make a good cup of coffee as I spray ash everywhere. But brought out one of my mugs I've made. I can fill that up a bit. Put the top on, throw that down, and then I'll have a second little cup of hot coffee. Oh, that's tasty. Well, the sun's up through the trees there. It's really beautiful. I just heard a woodpecker. I'm hearing all kinds of other birds. Just a really pretty day. So far, it's still fairly cool, not too humid yet. That I am definitely more out of shape. Where I park and where my office is, it's just under a quarter of a mile, and usually I'll walk out to it and go home for lunch. And with an hour-long lunch, the travel, I get usually a little over half an hour at the house. So I get almost a mile a day just from that. And if I go down the hall to the bathroom, I measured all this out on Google Maps because I'm a nerd, but one trip to the bathroom and the 4 legs of going back and forth to the car in the office gives me over a mile of walking. But the last time I went hiking was the last time I put out a video. So I have not been getting in the woods for a long time. Oh, there is it's not a cardinal, but a very bright red bird. Looks like it has a black or darker wings. And it looks like he might be trying to talk to a female there. It has a gray or tan chest. But sports are finally over for now. So I am hoping that, of course I've said it 100 times already, but I'm hoping that I will finally be able to get out in the woods regularly. I was traveling last weekend and seeing family, and then the weekend before last I actually had this coffee stuff set up for that, and I just couldn't drag myself out of bed Saturday or Sunday, I can't remember which day. It was like if I'd have had the day free, I would have come out, but had a deadline to get to a t-ball or basketball game or something. This tobacco is tasty. Hope everyone's been doing well. Life has been hectic but good for me. The boys finished up school, but starting Monday they'll be attending summer academy, which I guess is a euphemism for summer school. It was an optional thing, and it's to kind of help make up some ground lost through the time out of school due to the virus. So they'll be doing that through the end of the year, and then I think the June ends in the middle of the week, and that's when it ends, because that's the end of the fiscal year in West Virginia, and that's when I guess this program is out of funds or something. Well, I'm really enjoying this tobacco so far. Of course, you know, I'm having to relight it because I didn't give it enough time to dry out. But the flavor is great. Not strong at all. Great on the retrohale. Definitely Oriental forward. There's Latakia there, but it's not the primary focus of the blend. Get that nice tangy spiciness of the Orientals. Touch of sweetness, not much at all, but it's really good. That life has been pretty decent, a little hectic, but good. And I'm sure you probably noticed down here I have a box. I've had this for a while, but I'm gonna do a separate box opening video. Probably reshoot the intro to that hike or compilation video, and so get a couple more little quick videos in today, and then post them over the next week or so. It is beautiful out right now. It's basically just sunshine, green leaves, and birds flying around and bird calls. Well, and a lot of insects. That fly or whatever's buzzing around me, they haven't been too bad sitting here, but coming up the hill, they were bad. And you know, the early bird gets the worm, and the first hiker gets the spider webs. I don't think I ran into any actual webs, but a lot of just a little single or just a few strands across the trail. I got a lot of those in the face. I was just constantly wiping them off my face, but it's been, that was ridiculously steep, but it's a good hike. And then it's relatively flat. It kind of goes gradually downhill for the most part. A couple little steep parts downhill, but not bad. And then it puts me back. The trailhead's right across the street from the parking lot, and I just park basically in line with the trailhead. Well, that's enough jibber jabbering for this video. Since I have a couple other quick ones to shoot, I'm gonna sign off for now on this one, and then I'll, you know, sign off on the main chatter portion, and then I'll have you know, some other clips, because this trail is really pretty. But if I don't say anything else, guys, thanks for tuning in. Hope y'all are doing well. So I just came from a little ways back there. Earlier, I came up this trail. You can't see it too well, but just past where you can see, it gets real steep. Here's the sign, or where there used to be a sign. And then this is the way I need to go for the rest of the trail. Still smoking my pipe. But I think you can appreciate from this clip, why it's called Rocky Ridge. And then, is it right here? No, I can't remember if this is where I was when I about rolled down the mountain or not. I think it is. The trail starts going downhill right here. Sorry for whipping you around, but goes downhill there and then swings around. So I'll be going down there under this outcrop. But anyhow, I'm gonna get back to hiking and smoking. Oh, it's been a very enjoyable hike so far. You can see right there a disc golf basket, and then right there a sign for the next tee somewhere up there. Well, I'm just about done. I can see the road down there. I guess they're doing some trimming. But guys, thanks again for tuning in.